Hey, so, excuse my appearance. I'm a little uh, frazzled and sweaty because I just spent like 2 hours turning over my entire house looking for a microphone. A specific microphone that apparently disappeared into nothingness because the last place I had it, it is not. And the only other place it could be, I am not looking through because there is so much shit in there that I'm not putting it all back. I'm just leaving it. So, if anyone has a recommendation for a new microphone to purchase, decently priced, good quality microphone, that would be nice. Uh, anyway, on with the video. So yesterday, I I said that I uploaded a couple of papers of mine, and I only talked about the one. Now, the second paper that I uploaded was called James Lindsay is Everything He Claims to Oppose. This was published on June 10th, 2025. So, several months after the first article. And this essay was essentially about James Lindsay being a woke Marxist in everything but name, in everything but self-identification. He. So, first off, I went through various points, and here's the thing: if I had waited just 2 months, I would have had so much more to write about. So much more to write about. Because he just kept going off, and he kept saying ridiculous shit, and he kept just making a fool of himself. So I just addressed a couple of things. Firstly, I addressed his particular brand of liberalism, because his particular brand of liberalism is not the only brand of liberalism that exists. It's not Enlightenment liberalism. It's not the liberalism of the Founding Fathers. It's not the same as my liberalism. And there are many liberals who would disagree with him. It's not the same as anarcho-capitalism. It's not the same as Hoppian anarcho-capitalism. It's not the same as libertarian minarchy. It is actually very much woke Marxism. It pretty much just resembles woke Marxism. The next thing, I address his Gnostic claims. Now, I don't go too far into detail, but I do reference Veritas et Caritas, who was actually responding to Tick history. However, Tick made it appallingly clear that he was not doing his own research and was in fact getting everything about Gnosticism from James Lindsay. So, that's a thing. And James Lindsay is using very terrible sources and outdated sources, and he's not reading the primary sources. And if he is, he's not doing a good job of reading them or interpreting them. And keep in mind, just 1 month after I published this article was when he said that ridiculous nonsense about, what do you do in the morning? You wake up. Woke! Which was complete nonsense. And he said that with Jordan Peterson. And Jordan Peterson did not call him out on it. So, another thing that I called him out on was his race denial. And I actually go in detail about this, because I address the foundations of race denial. I address how I had to go searching for the argument justifying race denial. Of course, I reference Philip Rushton's book. And then I also make my own argument about how using the same logic that is used to push race denial, you can also deny species, which is clearly a nonsensical argument. But if you're using the same standards that race denial is, then it must be true. Of course, I don't believe it is true. There's obviously such a thing as species. There's obviously such a thing as race. Now, of course, I also say that the liberal is not tasked with carrying out actions in the name of racial equality or racial justice or anything like that. Uh, the most liberal argument for racial differences is to simply remove authority and let everyone fall where they do. Let everyone end up in the best possible position that they can. That is the most liberal argument for racial differences. Then I also bring up his use of woke right. When he first started using it, it was poorly defined, and when he did finally define it, it included everything that was not his particular brand of liberalism. I also go through the effort to prove that James Lindsay is a tribalist and not an individualist. He is a collectivist. It's just that his collectivism is based around treating people like individuals, which of course is really everyone. Really everyone is doing that, even the collectivists. So I don't really see why the two are not compatible with each other. They really go hand in hand. You have groups, you have individuals. Lastly, I do actually conclude that he is a Hegelian, whether he understands it or not. And he doesn't understand it because he doesn't have a clue about Hegel, even though he reads a lot of post-Hegel. And according to him, anyone who is a Hegelian is a Gnostic idealist and should be ignored and rejected. Now, of course, I ended the article by saying that every day he says something ridiculous and digs himself deeper into a hole of ridicule. And that was before he said the wake up in the morning woke thing. And that was before he started spouting off about Carl Schmitt. And if I were to rewrite the article, I would include stuff about that. Because Carl Schmitt was not proposing a method of treatment. He was making an observation with the friend-enemy distinction. Now, Carl Schmitt wasn't a Nazi, but that doesn't mean you just reject everything he says. People from all walks of life, from every background, from every ideology, have some kind of offering towards an understanding of the world. The friend-enemy distinction is obviously how people behave. It is how people act. It is an observation. It is not a commandment. It is not a desire of how people should act. It's not an ought. It's an is. And when James Lindsay engages in this tribalism of rejecting anyone who mentions Carl Schmitt, ironically, he is actually engaging in the friend-enemy distinction, exactly as Carl Schmitt predicted. So, I would actually bring that up in a newer essay. Anyway, link is in the description. Thank you for watching. Peace.